Hey YouTube family and GN subs, how are you? What's going on? This is Humberto R. For those of you who are new to the channel, I am an attorney on the West Side, and what I generally do is three things. I give you good news, I break down complicated subject matter, make it very simple. We're going to do that today on a very interesting video on alternatives to visitor visas. People overlook this all the time, but you're going to get it here. The third thing I do is I share with you cases that I am working on real time in my office, so you understand what's happening with immigration, policy-wise, adjudication-wise, etc. So hey, I got a lot to unpack today on a visitor visa, options and alternatives, things you have not heard of. Okay, I'm going to give you links to the law. And also, remember, go to my playlist. So let's say you want to get a visitor visa. You want to come to the US, right? You go to the playlist, you go on visitor visas. We have videos that are great. This is going to be in that playlist as well. Look at this video in conjunction with the other videos. I guarantee you, you're going to get a visitor visa, all right? So let's get at it. So what is the law? There are two sources, okay? One is the Foreign Affairs Manual. It's called the FAM. We're going to look at that today at 9 FAM 41.41 at SEC. All right, so that's the Foreign Affairs Manual. It is wonderful. I mean, it outlines specifically the law, what's required, etc. It's what I use all the time when I'm looking at different types of visas. The second is the Code of Federal Regulations. This is where you get your definitions. It defines, what type of visitor visas you can obtain, what is a business meeting? What is the definition? So you're going to get that from the Code of Federal Regulations. That is the law. Look, what I'm going to do, make it very simple. I'm going to give you links in the description box below for both sections for visitor visas, for the FAM, as well as the Code of Federal Regulations. But today we're going to concentrate on the Foreign Affairs Manual. That's where we're going to find some good information on exactly what alternatives you can get for the B1, B2 visa, right? So a lot of people, they think, you only can get a B1, B2 visa, one, a B2 visa to go to Disneyland, or two, a B1 visa to go to business meetings. That's not true. Let's flesh out some of the details on exactly what you can do as an alternative to that. There's a lot of meat in there, a lot of different sections of law, a lot of different scenarios where you can come to the US on that B visa. All right, one is for medical reasons. You can come on a B visa for medical reasons. So, let's say there's an illness, there's an emergency. In addition to the humanitarian parole, the consulate can issue a B visa for you to come to the US for medical purposes. So another is a short course of study. You don't need an I-20. If you're coming for a short course of study, let's say you're a medical physician abroad and you have a short course of study that you need to complete to come to the US, to be able to be a resident in the US, you can come for that short course of study. I know nurses as well, they want to study for the exam, short course of study. You don't need the I-20. Amateur athletes and entertainment groups, those who are not going to be compensated, you can actually come to the United States, participate in sports at an amateur level, or you can do entertainment. You can come on a B visa. Domestic partners. So I've had those who are not married, they've been together for quite some time, and the partner is in the US on a temporary visa, an E, L, H, etc. The partner can come to the US to be with the non-immigrant, totally permissible. So I've had cases where children are actually automatic citizens, but they need an entry into the United States. The Foreign Affairs Manual allows them to come on B visas. Once they make the entry into the United States, then we file for their automatic citizenship under 329 or Section 322. All right, ministers coming for missionary work and come right into the United States, right? Now, this is what I've done quite a bit. Professional athletes, if they're coming to participate in tournaments where there's no assured remuneration, so that is, they're not going to be paid. So what that is, let's say golfers, right? They participate in the tournaments. If they don't win, they don't make money, period. Number two, race car drivers, same situation, right? Those participating in track, again, they may not make any money at all. Let's say the marathon runners, right? I mean, Tons of them, they come to the United States on the B visa, they participate. Hey, they may win, they may make the money, but chances are tons of runner, they may not make money. All right, investors, I have a lot of those. If you're coming, how do you seek your investment without looking in the US? You just don't plop down money, right? So you can come on a B visa, indicate to the consulate, look, this is what I'm doing, coming to the United States, I'm gonna invest in the United States. Totally permissible. Another classification that I've done recently on the B visa, so employees of US citizens working abroad. So if you're a US citizen, you're working abroad, you had a domestic help, right? You want to bring them to the US as you're coming here, totally permissible. Have a big producer in the US producing television shows in Canada, had a domestic worker, he was coming back for a year to do some production. He could bring the domestic back on the B visa, goes back to Canada, does some more production, etc. So totally permissible. All right, so how do we get these visas, right? How do you make this application at the US consulate? Very simple stuff. Number one, you have to satisfy what we call 214B. I have the Bible video. We have over 600,000 views on this video that Courtney put together. You have to check it out. That'll be, the crux of the application, right? You have to show that you're going to return to your country after your brief visit to the US on one of these options that we talked about. Then you have to provide the information, right? So let's say you're coming into the United States to participate in the golf tournament. You need the entry documentation that you are part of that tournament. Let's say you're coming for medical reasons. You need letters from doctors to show the purpose, letter from the doctor in the foreign country, letter from the doctor in the US that you're coming for surgery or treatment, whatever the case may be. Employees that are domestic workers, right? You need a contract from the employer to show that you're going to be working paid minimum wage and that you're going to return, after the work in the US. Hey, YouTube family, thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. Click below, like and subscribe. I hope this really helped you in terms of thinking about alternatives in B visa status. It's really cool. Click on there, read it. You may have some situation that applies to you. Hey, we'll see you next week.